Virtually any question you want to ask can be answered using the scientific method. It's a process that will give you results that either support your argument or support that your argument's probably wrong. It's a 6-step process, all starting with a research question. Typically, these 6 steps stay the same, but they can slightly vary depending on the discipline, for example, a physics versus a sociology experiment. Let's go through the scientific method using a question we've all asked ourselves at one point. Does an apple a day keep the doctor away? Warning, this research is not real, but it could be if someone actually followed the scientific method to investigate it. It starts with some background research. No one has ever confirmed that eating an apple a day will keep you healthy enough to a point where you'll see a doctor less, but so many people say it as an old wives' tale, especially to kids who they want to see eating more fruits. Generally, apples are considered healthy because they're nutrient dense. They have good amounts of fiber, vitamin C, E, B, and K, and they're rich in antioxidants. One study found that eating 100 to 150 grams of apples every day led to a lower chance of developing heart disease and a lower chance of a stroke. But apples also have natural acids and a high sugar content compared to other fruits, meaning eating them could be linked to tooth decay and cavities. Conflicting background research is a dilemma that scientists usually face, which is why they run their own experiments to get to the bottom of it themselves, usually designing a better, less biased experiment each time, which hopefully will result in more conclusive results. Now, there are many types of apples, so let's go with the most popular one in Canada. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess what it is. Time's up, and it's the Macintosh apple. I choose to believe that apples are healthy and will therefore reduce doctor visits. So my hypothesis is, eating a Macintosh apple every day for a year will reduce the amount of visits to the doctor. It's best to make your hypothesis as specific as possible to narrow the scope of your research. For example, including the fact that when I say doctors, I refer to any healthcare professional, such as family doctors, specialists, and dentists. For our methods, we'll have a sample size of 600 people, ages 18 to 30, with relatively healthy lifestyles, as determined by a specific set of criteria. 200 people will be part of a control group that don't eat any apples over the year, and 400 people will be part of an experimental group, which will be further divided into 2 groups. Group A, with 200 people, eating an apple every other day, and Group B, with 200 people, eating an apple every day. Over a year, participants will self-report the number of times they visited the doctor. Experimental errors can occur because of equipment error, human error, procedural error, and environmental error. For example, if some participants were to disclose that they didn't eat apples according to the regime that they were supposed to, the experiment would have to be redone with new participants to account for those missing results. This would be human error. Assuming everyone ate their apples properly, let's analyze the results. We found that the control group visited the doctor an average of 8 times a year. Group A visited an average of 4 times a year, and Group B visited an average of 2 times a year. These results are statistically significant, so we have a conclusive result. Statistically significant meaning that there is a relationship between the variables being studied. The results aren't just by chance. We do have to acknowledge that there is a bias in the fact that many factors contribute to an individual's health, including genetic and environmental factors. But even so, based on the results of this study, we can conclude that eating an apple a day will reduce the amount of times you need to see a doctor in a year. And that's the scientific method.